Hey everybody, Jeremy here. Today I got myself another kitchen appliance that I picked up on Temu, and I've actually been wanting to try out an induction cooktop for a while now. So I saw they have a pretty decent amount of induction cooktops on there, and I picked myself up one, and it looks just like this. Now, this was $55, and like a lot of things on Temu, this doesn't have a particular brand name to it, but I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video so that you can head over there and check this out or any other of the induction cooktops that they have over there and check it out for yourself. All right, so the way that these induction cooktops work is in order for them to be functional, you need to use cookware that has a magnetic base because that's how it's going to heat up. So if you're trying to cook with something that's like ceramic or, something like that, that is not going to work on this. You need to have something that has a magnetic base to it. And that's what I'm going to be trying out today. I'm going to make myself a bit of lunch, and I'm going to be using a couple pieces of cookware to try this out on. So first, I'm going to try boiling some water, and that's what this little pot right here is for. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to be cooking some meat and sauteing some vegetables and just making myself a pretty tasty meal. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to be using this skillet here that is also magnetic. Fits pretty nicely right down there, and I'm going to see just how efficient and how enjoyable this whole process is going to be. All right, should be fun. So first things first, going to boil some water. Now this is not a very large pot, but I'm going to fill it up with water. I'm going to put it down on here, and we're going to see how long it takes to boil. All right, so before I actually start cooking, let me show you a closer look at this portable induction cooktop, and we can get a sense of all the functions that it's capable of doing. All right, got it all plugged in. Now let's check out these features. Everything is touch sensitive. So here's the power button right there. I'm just going to press that. It's now on. And now we have these different functions up here that we can indulge ourselves with. So I'm going to just go to each of these by pressing this function button here. And this does have a fan, so the fan is going to activate once you try to go to a mode. And as you can see here, it says E0 on it, and it's going to do that because there is nothing on the base. But if I put my magnetic cooking thing right there, you see that goes away. So this is the hot pot mode. You can change the temperature, or what I'm assuming is going to be the wattage down here. It's currently at 1800. And I can lower this all the way down in this mode to 120, and then I can make it go as high as 2200. And to hit the function mode right here, and this setting is called Cook Gruel, not the tastiest sounding method there, but you see that the timer here is set to 45 minutes, and here is at 1600, and it just stops right there, so everything is just static. I can hit the timer button, and I can increase or decrease the time on this particular mode. Here we got the fry mode, and this actually gives us a temperature reading. So we got 240 degrees right there, and it goes up and down. Next mode here, that's the soup setting. And again, you can, well, in the soup setting, you can't change any of the temperatures or the power that it gives. Over on the steam setting, we got 1800, and we can't change anything like that. Move over to water, and we can't change any of the functions with the water. Here is slow fire down to 500. We can move this all the way up to 2200. And then we got stir fired, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be stir fry. And we can change the, again, I'm assuming this is either wattage. The higher the number, the more heat. The lower the number, the less heat. So that's what you have to deal with. Depending on what you want to cook, you can make your decision on which number is going to be best for you. And then right back to hot pot. All right, so I'm going to, you saw a little bit of smoke right there. Oh, and if you're curious, hey, does this get hot to the touch? Well, I'm going to test it out for you. To my hand, it's warm, but it's not hot. But on the bottom of this, it is hotter than that. I still don't recommend that you touch it, but just so you know. All right, so I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to fill my pot with water, and I'm going to see how long it takes for this to boil. All right, so I got my pot of water right here. Let me turn this on. I just have to decide what mode that I'm going to use, and I want it to be as hot as I can get it. So I would think that you could put it on water, and since it's at 2200, that seems to be kind of high, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it right there at 2200 on this water mode and see how long it takes. It is 2:19 right now, and I'll come back once it starts boiling. So this water is just starting to come to a boil. You can see it happening right there, and it's been about 9 minutes. It is currently, actually it's 10 minutes now. It's 2:29, so 10 minutes later on this particular setting, and the boil is just starting to form. I'm going to be cooking in this just some ramen noodles, but this is not the boiling look that I go for whenever I boil these ramen noodles. So I'm going to give this a little bit more time to come to a more furious rolling boil, and then I can finally start cooking. But 10 minutes in and we're still waiting. Guess I can do some more prep. All right, so it has been about a half hour, and these noodles, I mean, they're fine now. You know, I can just take it off like this. This will be fine for me. It took a half hour to get there, including the boiling temperature time. And you'll also see that I changed the mode to hot pot because I just wanted to see if I can get a little bit more heat other than the water setting. But 2200 is the max that this goes up to on any setting that offers that. But I'm just going to take this off here. I'm going to put this over to the side, and I'm going to grab my other skillet, which is this right here. And for this one, I'm going to change modes. I'm going to go to the fry function, and I'm just going to bring this up to as high as it's going to go, which is this 270 degrees. So I'm going to let this warm up, then I'm going to throw some beef over onto here, and we'll see how that works. And while we're waiting, I'm just going to pour a little bit of olive oil in here as well. On the Celsius scale, this is reading at 178 degrees Celsius. You see down here it says it's going to be 270, but I'm not sure if that's Celsius or Fahrenheit. But when I switch over to Fahrenheit, I am at 354 degrees, 56, you know, it just kind of goes up and down. So that seems pretty, like a pretty decent temperature. I just probably wouldn't take these readings down here to heart. They may not be the most accurate, but now let's toss some of this meat over in here. Immediate sizzle, so that's good. And as far as that water is concerned, you know, it took quite a while for the water to get to the boiling point that I want. But at the same time, that's usually not how I cook. I have this machine right here that does the boiling water for me, so I can get some nice boiling point water in a matter of seconds. And I usually just use that and then put it in the pot already on a fire, and it's immediately boiling. But I just wanted to see how long it would take if I were to start from scratch. So if I were to do this in the future, I definitely would not rely on this induction cooktop to do the boiling for me. I would just get that done ahead of time so I can start cooking a lot faster. But so far, you know, it's pretty good. You can see we got a pretty good sizzle going on here. Let's clean this up a little bit. And then we got to take a look at this timer, and it seems like by default 10 minutes is going to be the timer that this has before it automatically shuts itself off. So I'm just going to bring it up to a high number so I don't have to worry about that. And every time I do push a button on here, the fan, it goes down a bit and then it kicks back up, so it loses a little bit of power every time you do something. All right, so after a few minutes, I'm going to take this beef, take it out of this pan, move it to the side, pop this right back on. And some sweet chili sauce. Put some of that in there. Then I also have some greens here. I forget what these are. They're either mustard greens or they're turnip greens. I'm not sure, but it's all good. I'm gonna give this a minute or two. Come back and check on it. Now I'm gonna bring the noodles back into the mix. And I also got myself some low sodium soy sauce. And a nice little dab all around there. And then just a little bit of sesame seed oil. And then now I can reintroduce the beef and all of its wonderful, wonderful juices. So this is nearing the end. Now, if I had to say something that I wish were different about this, I could go for a little bit more heat, especially at this stage. I would like to hear more sizzle. Or if you touch any of these functions down here, it'll also interrupt the heat. And it comes right back on, but you know, it just takes it away for a second, you know. So it's not the most powerful thing in the world. Mostly I just use my gas stove, and the gas stove compared to this will give me hotter, more consistent heat overall. But as you can see, you know, you can definitely cook something on here, and it doesn't have to take a very long time, especially if you're not trying to boil water. And if you are going to boil water, then that's just going to add to the time. But if you can get that done ahead of time, or maybe in like some other type of appliance, then, you know, you can still cook up a pretty, you know, simple meal just like this. So this was fun to try out. So, you know, if you are interested in getting an induction cooktop, or maybe seen one on Temu, and if you like what you see here, then hey, yeah, check out that link in the description. You'll be able to pick one up from there and see how well it goes. And there's others as well on there that may suit your fancy. Induction cooktops that have more than one burner, I guess, on it, so you can cook more than one thing at the same time. So that will be even more helpful, especially in a situation like this. I guess I gotta try this. All right, here we go. Hey, it is good. It does taste good. So in the end, I guess that's what's most important, right? But anyway, that's it for now, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon.